The world needs automatic Miatas. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1995 Mazda Miata. Up front is a 1.8 liter inline 4 and down below is a 4-speed automatic gearbox. And we'll get to that gearbox more in a second. So as you guys know, I've reviewed Miatas before. This isn't really new territory for me. I've never reviewed a 1.8 and I've never reviewed an automatic, and really the talking point of this video is going to be that automatic, but like I said, we'll get to that in a second. So first let's talk about that 1.8. First of all, way peppier than the 1.6, at least in my opinion. It feels like it wants to go more. It feels more ready to go, and almost what every Miata should feel like. Now, no, you're not going to be breaking any lap records. You're not going to be breaking, you know, any real track times with that 1.8. That's not what I'm saying. But it feels more alive. It feels like it wants to go more than the 1.6. Obviously, 0.2 more liters of displacement. You're going to push more fuel and you're going to get more power out of it. Now, let's talk about the transmission. It is a 4-speed automatic. And it's not the quickest. Automatic transmissions nowadays, here in 2017, are pretty quick. They're pretty hard to compete with a manual. But this automatic from 95, it's not the quickest. And it does kind of kill the power of the car just a little bit. As you guys may have remembered, I didn't review it, but I did drive a automatic first generation RX-7. Now that was an automatic carbureted car. And that just felt so much less powerful than my stock 12A with the 5-speed manual. It was really interesting, but this car still feels peppy, it still feels alive. You're just not as connected to the car. Now right behind that 4-speed automatic transmission is a limited slip differential. So if you did want to do a burnout, you will spin both wheels. No more peg-legged, awkward, one-wheel peel, one-tire fire, whatever you want to call it. This will spin both of the tires. Now let's talk about the interior. I've done Miatas before, and like I said, this isn't new territory, but Miatas keep it simple. 2 seats, a radio, that's it. This car actually does have working air conditioning, which is pretty nice, and I am probably going to turn on at least a little bit. The Miata has some of my favorite gauges. I really like the silver outlines with just the plain and simple middle. They're very simple. They almost remind me of like a little Cessna airplane, like a little 2-seater airplane. It almost reminds me of that, and that's really cool to me. And of course, you can't forget the convertible top. I won't put it down just for the audio of this video, but the convertible top, boom, down, you're done. It's super simple. It's not power, but it's super simple and hard to mess up. All right, so let's see. I've never done this before. Oh. There we go. Of course, right on the middle of the dashboard, you also have the headlights up, headlights down button. It's always fun to play with. And the 95 actually does have an airbag, which is actually pretty interesting. The other Miatas that I've reviewed had quick releases, but they didn't even have airbags to start off with. So it's really interesting to see that this is the same first-gen Miata, still an NA, but it's starting to get with the times. It gained an airbag. Some people may call this car a wife pleaser. And by that I mean, back in the 90s, if someone wanted to get a Miata, let's say an older gentleman wanted a Miata, but the wife was like, hey, if you're gonna get a car, I need to be able to drive it. So instead of teaching the wife stick, just get an automatic. Make life a little bit simpler. Yeah, it's gonna be automatic. You still get your fun little sports car. You can put the top down on, and everyone's happy. Now, one of the things I really like about this car is how stock it is. This car is as stock as a Miata is going to get this day and age. I feel like I've hit the trifecta, where this is a super stock, nearly showroom first gen Miata. Then I've reviewed the slightly modified Matthews Miata. It has wheels, exhaust, a couple body changes, that sort of thing. And then Nacho's camber destroyed but awesome blue Miata, which I reviewed a couple months back. So I've really hit the holy trinity of volumes of the Miata, or at least the first gen. Why do I say that the world needs automatic Miatas? Everyone's first thought is, if you're gonna get a Miata, you should get it in manual. That's just what everyone thinks, that's what everyone says, and that's honestly my personal opinion too. But as you guys can see, automatic Miatas are the Miatas that survive. This car is untouched. I mean, look at it. It looks, minus a little bit of fender rust, this thing looks pretty showroom worthy. I mean, look at that engine bay. Look at how clean it is. Look at how unmodified it is. Look at the lack of cold air intake. It's factory, it's stock. This is the Miata that survived. I've only seen 2 Buick Grand Nationals in my life. Real numbers matching Buick Grand Nationals. You know, the cars from the 80s, late 80s that were turbocharged V6s. Legendary cars, if you will. I've only seen 2 of them. And you know what both of them were? Automatic. You know why? Because enthusiasts don't feel like messing with an automatic, which I understand. Driving a manual is a lot more fun. At least to me, it's a lot more fun. So when people see an automatic pop up, they're like, that's not worth my time. So over the years, enough people saying, that's not worth my time, I don't want to modify, I don't want to drive an automatic Miata, this Miata gets saved. Unfortunately, these cars are getting chopped up. Miatas are getting turned into drift cars because you can find them for cheap. A lot of them came with limited slip differentials and people are sliding them all around, bashing them up, replacing fenders, doing whatever, and that's fine. I get that. I enjoy that culture. I enjoy drifting and occasionally smashing a car or two or busting a fender and replacing it. And that's fine. But we're at a limited resource of first-gen Miatas now. They're not making these anymore, and they haven't made them since the 90s. So that number is slowly going down. So soon enough, there's not going to be many stock Miatas left. There's not going to be any untouched, or I really hate the phrase, but really unmolested Miatas. They're just not going to exist in 15, 20 years. So this automatic Miata, this is alright by me, because this is a time capsule of the Miata. It's everything the Miata was the day it launched, and nothing more, and I love that. So would I buy an automatic Mazda Miata? No, I wouldn't. And I know I just went on that rant about how we need automatic Miatas. I understand that. I respect the heck out of them. I really do. I respect this car. But I just like shifting through the gears, you know? I like the Miata's manual transmission. I think it's a really good transmission. I think it's a lot of fun to go in and out of gears, and you really feel with the car at that point. So if I were to buy a Miata, I would get it in manual. But the fact that this car isn't manual, the fact that this is automatic, I'm okay with it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the 1995 Mazda Miata, please leave it in the comment section down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
Here goes a sight from my soul.